I have been married for 25 years, and I would have thought, seriously, like by now, I would have thought by now that it would have calmed down a little bit. But I got to tell y'all, men and women, two totally different things. Men always got one thing on their mind. Always got one thing on their mind. And women, that one thing that the man's got on their mind is the last thing on women's mind. Okay. I can seriously come home from work and just have had the worst day possible and be like, honey, I just had a bad day. And he'd be like, girl, I got something that'll fix that bad day. I could have like the flu and he could come home and I would just be sick as a dog, sweating and everything, and just say, I feel horrible. He'd be like, baby, I got something to make you feel better. Like, seriously, dude, like the last thing I want to do is that thing. Okay. I don't even want to look at that thing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, don't get me wrong. I am grateful that my husband, still wants to and all that, and he gets plenty, okay? But every day, women do not want it every day. We don't. Men are different. Men are different. All they think about is just that one thing. That's it.
Hey, shout out to the content creator. This is absolutely hilarious. I see one thing really quick before we dive into the video. This is how women need to be more of, right? It's so interesting how she can say her message and without saying a thing, but you know exactly what she's talking about. This is how I love women, how they speak. I love the personality of this type of woman. And again, it doesn't matter what race, creed, whatever, right? But that sweet sassiness, you feel me? That's what I like. So anyway, shout out to her. But listen, yes, majority have one thing on their mind. It don't matter, rain, sleet, snow, what's going on. Raining cats and dogs outside. We sleeping in a car. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we at somebody's house. The kids on sleeping on the other side of the bed. Listen, man, some dudes, that's all they want. That's all they want. And it's so funny because, I think I've said some crazy stuff like this to my wife. I think she might have been sick. And I was like, yeah, I got that Marvin Gaye for you. And I was joking. I knew she was sick, but it was just funny. You know what I mean? But like I said, she said that majority of dudes do have one thing in mind. But I'm gonna speak. I'm gonna twist this message a little bit, because I would say yes, majority, but there's a small segment of men who don't only think about that. And let me explain what I mean. I'm gonna use me for an example, right? When I tell y'all I'm so locked in on my goals, I'm so locked in on my purpose, and I think it just came from I was raised in hustle culture. You follow me? I was raised through my experiences around some get money guys. I almost said something else. Get money ends, right? And it just listen, having women, let me again, when I was single, right? Having women was cool. I love women. Don't get me wrong. I love women, right? But I love money more. And let me explain why. As a man, listen, if I could get nothing else, I can get a woman in bed. If I can get it for free. I can pay for it. I can fall in on it on mistake, right? I can go to a bar and find it. Hell, I can go out of town and find it in town. It don't matter. In school, that's the easiest thing that I found out I can get was a woman in bed. The hardest thing for a man to get is running up that check, getting a bag, man, getting some money. And for me, when you get it, because okay, I ain't gonna lie, some dudes, they don't really get women like that. And I think for me, it might have been different because, I don't know, I was just raised around some players, man. They just knew the game to get woman. But then here's the thing, they didn't know how to get no money, but they knew women. And so it naturally came easy to me being around them and seeing how they move. So that was like the least of my worries. I was damn near spoiled. I had young girls, older women, cougars, in the middle. It didn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Women who had their own businesses, women who was broke, working at fast food. I had them all in between, all around, right? Out of state and it didn't matter. So I damn near was spoiled, man. Had driving women's BMWs. Listen, them giving me money, buying clothes, pulling up to the job with food. You know what I'm saying? Paying a couple bills. Like, it didn't matter. So that was the easy part. Me running up my own money, my own check, that was the tough part, but it was the most exciting part. Because, like, here's the thing. When you can easily get something, the value goes down, right? It don't fulfill you as it used to. Like, when I was young, first starting the game, chasing women, like, yeah, it was exciting, right? But once you learn, it's kind of all the same. Like, you can tell a woman and be like, yo, look, I don't really want a relationship, but we can kick it. And then you come with it, right? When I say come with it, you give them what they're looking for. It's always the same response. Hey, let's be more than what we started with. You like, nah, I ain't trying to have a relationship. You still deal with them. It come back around. Hey, let's have it be a relationship. You like, yo, I ain't trying to do that, right? And it didn't matter what the situation was. You know what I'm saying? You giving off good guy energy, bad guy energy. You know what I'm saying? Whatever, man. It came down to the same. They wanted to hold you down because, especially if you running up a check too, you out here working, you can satisfy them. You got your own motion. Like, oh, they trying to lock you down. You follow me? So that came easy. But now, like, when you running up your career, you getting money, that, and you putting in work, because that's not a consistent thing, right? Getting women, getting the results of what you want from women, that became easy. So, like, even where I'm at now, right? What I was saying, like, I'm married. Like, I come across women every day. And see, I could talk about this because I'm not out here trying to get women, right? But I got to tell y'all, I'm such about a check, man. Like, I don't, like, and that's why I try to tell dudes, like, they be like, dang, bro, you locked in. I be like, bro, and listen, I ain't, whatever other guys around me do, married, single, that's their business, right? I'm not here trying to justify what anybody do. But when they ask me, again, I ain't trying to tell them nothing. I ain't giving them unsolicited advice. But when they ask me, I'm like, bro, you got to lock in. You too worried about what's between a woman's legs and not what's in her head. See, listen, again, I come from an era where it's players. Like, we want, listen, every woman got the in between. Yeah, let me say this. Let me sit up. Because I got to put these guys on game, man. In the same thing, some real women to tell you the same thing too, but specifically to the men, every woman got something between her legs, right? That she's willing to give out to the ones that she want. But all of them don't have no sense, man. So, like, when you find a one that have sense, you got to lock it down. You have to lock it down. You know what I'm saying? Because that's a dime a dozen. You ain't going to find, it's rare. It's rare. The one who got something between their legs and got something in their head is rare. You follow me? So it's like when you dealing with the women out here, bro, that's the least of your concerns. Like, get some of that. That should be the last thing on your mind, is trying to get between a woman's legs. You follow me? You need to be trying to run up a check. You need to be worried about, because here's the thing, and I don't think a lot of dudes have heard this. I remember the first time I've heard this quote. Listen, you can lose a lot of money chasing women, but you'll never lose women chasing money. Let me say that again. For the ones in the back, let me say that again, because I don't think a lot of y'all heard me. I remember when I first heard this saying. You can lose a lot of money chasing women, but you'll never lose women chasing money. It's the God honest truth. It's the God honest truth. It is. So I've yapped and pulled a little bit away from the topic of the video, because I needed to make that point, man. I needed to make that point of, for the single guys out there, a lot of y'all, yes, right? A lot of things that we do as men are for women to get between their legs. certain car we drive, certain clothes we wear, certain location we live, the way we set up our lifestyle, right? It's to become an attraction for women. But I'm gonna tell you this, it's short-lived, man, because it's a system. Once you understand the system and how women act and how they move, it's like it honestly becomes boring. You know, it's really like it's too easy. And again, it don't matter how bad it is. I've had some bad ones too, right? I had some. I don't say I know dusties. You know what I'm saying? But I've had the quantity over quality in my earlier days, right? Because I didn't know what I was doing until I started leveling up. Then I started going quality over quantity. But I say that to say, if you're a single man out there, even hell, some married men out there, y'all gotta lock in, man. Y'all gotta worry about getting a check. Y'all gotta worry about running up a bag, running up a check, and getting on y'all purpose. Because listen, it is a beautiful thing when you're married and your wife know that you still desire her, right? But you got to lock in and get that bag, man. Do not get distracted and let that be the only thing on your mind. That's the point I want to make, right? I didn't want to stray too far away from the main point of the video, but I got to speak to my guys when I get the opportunity. So back to the content of the video. Yes, a lot of us are one track minded, and it don't matter what's going on, what time of day, what's going on with the person you're dealing with. We want to hit it when we want to hit it, right? But on the other flip side of that coin is you have to switch your perspective and life, and really, and I'll bring up money. I listen to people, oh, money the only thing, and you know about this life. It isn't, but money creates other opportunities for you to enjoy your life. You just having sex and you just trying to get between a woman's leg, that's a dead end. That don't open up any doors for you. You follow me? It's fun when you're younger, cool, right? You learn yourself, you learn what you like, don't like. But at a certain point, that cannot be the only thing that drives you. It's just getting women. So anyway, with that being said, shout out to the content creator. Hope y'all got a lot of value from this video. Hit the like button, subscribe, and share this video out because I'm sure one of them guys out there need to hear this message. And with that being said, I appreciate y'all. Much love. Peace.